Hey there everybody, in this video we're going to have a look at this car here. Wow, the sun. Brian's my name, Fitzpatricks Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. Jeez, that sun is really unbelievable. Anyway, I'm going to show you a car that's been traded in. I know the car really well. I used to live beside the man that used to own it, and he's bought loads of Hyundais over the last couple of years. So he changes his car regularly and he likes his car. Anyway, it's a Hyundai Tucson. We are Fitzpatricks Garage, a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years. So this car here, like we were saying to you, is a Tucson. It's a really nice colour actually, I like this, and it's what's called an executive model. The car's got low mileage as well, so it's got about 30,000 kilometres. Just about 31,000 kilometres to be precise. Anyway, in this video, I just want to show you around the features on the outside and the inside of the car. And we'll go for a quick spin in the car as well. So looking at the outside, isn't this a smart looking car? And don't Lidl get so much free advertising? I'm going to move around here everywhere since they built across the road. Every video I do seems to have Lidl in it. Anyway, so this car is, I think it's a really nice red colour. And as an executive, some of the nice features on the car, they have this big chrome grille. So from 2019 onwards, they had a facelift and this got a much nicer big chrome grille. And then along here, if you look at the headlamps, you have this section here, which is your parking light. And this section down here, which is a daytime running light. That's also a fog light in there. And then these are composed of a dipped headlight and also a dipped headlight here and a full headlight over here as well. When they did the facelift on that car, they actually went from a 1.7 to 1.6, but they remained 115 horsepower. And in fairness, from what I hear back from people, they have become better on fuel. So we had people that had maybe 16 reg ones, they went up into 19 reg ones, and they did find the 19 reg ones to be easier on fuel as a 1.6. And how about the registration? Right, so fair enough, if you're not from Laois, it mightn't mean as much to you, but 192 LS 192, that is a cool reg, so it is. Makes the car, I think, stand out a little bit more than a normal one. The wheels are a nice bright 17-inch alloy wheel, and then after that, if you look along over here, there's nice tinted glass along the back. There's brushed aluminium roof rails along the top, and then you can put bars from one side to the other if you want to have a roof box. But after that, if you look down the side of the car, then there's no chrome, which I think works well because you either have chrome or you don't have chrome at all. Some cars you have bits and pieces here and there, so it's black along the bottom, black around the windows. But what's really nice on these then is you get this like skid plate along the bottom, which is a brushed aluminium. And if you walk around to the back of the car, then you've also got the same idea. Now, on the first two models you didn't get this, but once you moved up into this you did. So you had a nice brushed aluminium section, and from 19 onwards as well, the two-wheel drives got this nice exhaust setup. So I think that's really sporty looking, and it makes it just a little bit more aggressive looking on the rear. The taillights are pretty cool too, so again they changed when we got to 2019. Similar shape, but actually when you put them beside another one, you'll see the actual overall lamp is a little bit different, but the internal composition, what I mean by all these LEDs and stuff in here, they look totally different on the 2019. So when you're driving behind them at night time, it's a really nice finish on the taillights. The Tucson, to be fair, is, I think always will be, a brilliant all-round car. So it's a car that so many people have bought from us. Because they wanted a car that was big, they wanted a car that was high off the ground, they wanted a car that was well equipped, they wanted a car that looked nice. There's a load of different reasons. Some people wanted everything, some people wanted one or two bits. They just did everything really, really well. And I suppose the satisfaction rates are so high, and we've ended up with people changing up like this man here, changing up into the new model and the new model and the new model, because they keep doing the things that people want them to do. Is that a big sales pitch? Absolutely. But to be fair, is it true? Absolutely. Let's have a look at the boot. So this car, let's unlock that. So the boot, now the car's only come in, so it hasn't really had a really good clean yet, but it's in nice condition. All the plastics up along here, they seem to be in good condition overall. Some minor scuffing along through there, which I think is reasonable in a boot. And then after that, you'll have a spare wheel down here, which looks to be unused. And after that, then there is a parcel shelf. But what's clever about the parcel shelf on these is over here. So what you can do is you can pull that out. That's fine. Leaves a bit of a gap and allows you to recline the rear seats. So that means if I'm traveling in a car like this, if you look at me here, I look pretty upright. It's a grand, comfortable. Let it back. That makes a savage difference. If you're going for a long journey, wow, this is way more comfortable. It's probably really bad for your back, but I don't care, it's comfortable. So you might have noticed then the interior is a nice beige leather. So in these cars, depending on the exterior colour, you will have either gotten a black interior or a beige two-tone interior. So the beige is really nice and bright. It complements the red car colour on the outside. Armrest with some drinks holders. Isofix over here. Isofix over here. And the rear passengers then get ventilation, and there's also a USB connector down through here as well. See, these are pretty neat. So when you're sitting in the car, it's kind of space for your knees, but it's still allowing the driver to have a more kind of significant seat in front. That's the kind of legroom I'd have if I was sitting behind myself. And then in terms of headroom, that's the kind of headroom I'd have. So look, these are a damn good family car. Loads of people have bought them for that reason, and they'll continue to be over a long period of time. In terms of safety, the likes of those doors, they all have side impact protection beams. Then after that, driver's airbag, passenger airbag, airbag up high in the roof, airbag in the side of those seats as well, anti-lock brakes, emergency brake distribution. Again, these cars were safe, and they are more of the reasons that people bought them. Height adjustable seat, lumbar support for your lower back, an armrest in through here with a drinks holder. And to be fair, that is a good looking car. It's a really square. Do you know what, right? When these cars came out, they had, everyone used to love the Santa Fe, but the Santa Fe was unfortunately expensive. We had the iX35 before that, which was a rounder shape. But when this Tucson came in, then people all of a sudden started looking at Tucson and saying, do you know what, it actually reminds me, because it's got this big square imposing front end, reminds me of the Santa Fe. So basically they were able to buy a car that I really liked the look of, but it had the nicer running costs of the normal SUV that we'd seen with the iX35 before, but they were still getting that kind of big chunky looking SUV. It's just a square and symmetrical kind of car. It's the kind of car, do you know what, if you asked to like a 6-year-old to drive, to like draw something that's what is a Jeep, like they would draw square lines, and that's sort of the design that's on this. And the new model is actually rounder, and I've seen that some people like the new model, it looks really cool, but some of the kind of traditionalists, they prefer this shape because it was just squarer and that's what they wanted. I guess that is just life. Everyone's different, and they'll always have different ideas of what they like. Electric windows and mirrors over here, folding mirrors from the key, so lock, wing mirrors come in, unlock, they go back out, and similarly that'll turn on and off the lights as well, so you can never leave the lights on by accident. Over here then there is controls for cruise control and all that kind of stuff, and over here then there is Bluetooth controls in through here. For adjustability, the steering wheel, and again look, because so many diverse different people bought these cars, rake and reach steering and height adjustable seats and all that kind of stuff. Basically everyone was able to get comfortable in them. Right, down here, a nice 6 forward gear gearbox. Significance down here is you can charge your phone by resting it on that pad, or you have USB as well, or you got 12 volt, or you got 12 volt. Now, these cabins were lovely at night time. This is back when Hyundai were doing this all blue section all the way across. So big white clocks in here, and the nice blue lighting for the other things you'll need along the steering wheel, and also down through here as well. Right, dual zone climate control, so different temperatures on each side. There is heated seats up front, and then there is a reverse camera in through here, and this screen also will have things like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay if you want to use Google Maps. It'll also have touchscreen set up for radio and media, and phone menus, and basically all the things you want to do. So you've got hard buttons here, but you've also got a touchscreen set up in through there as well. One significant thing on these, if you're looking at a Tucson up as far as 2018, they have a higher dash and it's built into the dash. 2019 onwards, they have a lower dash, and then you have this floating dash section here as well. Now, one thing we used to find was, well, I used to find when people were getting in and out of these cars, I know this is going to sound super sexist, but so many people that came to collect these cars, the man drove and the woman sat in the passenger seat. If there were a couple, if women were buying themselves, obviously they drove home, and then the other way around. But that, look, we live in Ireland, that seems to be what happened quite a bit. There's a height adjustable seat. I saw so many people that got into the passenger seat on these and felt low because the dash was high, so they made a passenger adjustable height adjustable passenger seat even, and they lowered the dash, which meant the passenger was getting a much better level of visibility at the front. I know I keep saying it, but to be fair, that is a good looking wagon. Anyway, let's go for a quick drive in the car. Driving these cars, I suppose the big thing is that they feel elevated. So people that get into cars like this, they like to feel high off the ground. And there's a really nice cabin. Looking around, I think the floating dash actually is a good idea. I think the lowered dash is a good idea as well, and it definitely gives better visibility all the way around. And the engine, it's responsive, 1.6, 115 horsepower. And like you're saying to you, it has improved in levels of fuel efficiency compared to the previous generation 1.7 that went before. So overall, it is a nice, enjoyable car to drive. Anyway, hopefully that review has been useful. It's not super conclusive, but it's just giving you a rough idea what this car is all about. If the car itself is of interest, just give me a shout, 086 843 1945. Brian is my name. Call, text, WhatsApp even. And we are Fitzpatricks Garage, a family-run business in operation for almost 7 years. Thanks a million for watching, and if you're on YouTube and you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below.